So I'll give you a good example. If today I knew how to do, let's say, a BBL, nadhani ningecharge ngapi?
With a lot of money.
Exactly. And right now I can only maybe do a few other procedures which are charged considerably less. But if I can do BBLs at make you look like Kim or Nikki, a judge way heavier and I'd recoup immediately.
Okay. I wanted to finish, but then this critic came out. I know why you decided to get into that, to like change such like cosmetic surgeries, and is it halal to do that? Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Islamically Correct podcast. I am your host Maya Ali, and in this podcast we have honest conversation about faith, finance and life. Welcome back. I really do appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. And if you're listening to us in Spotify, please do rate us. We'll definitely do appreciate. Today I have a doctor. Yes, a doctor, a podcast, and he creates content from what I've seen on the internet, and also he is an aesthetics practitioner. My tongue has a problem, so I cannot say most of the things. And he is Dr. Muhyiddin. Welcome to Islamically Correct.
Alright, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Are you those people that say it's a must we call you a doctor, or if you just call me Muhyiddin, it's also fine?
No pressure. I was Muhyiddin before I became a doctor.
Okay, that's fine, because there are other people that if you don't call them by doctor, they're like, repeat.
What I've noticed is unaweza kuwa in the wrong place at the wrong time, unasikia jina daktari kind of spills in the car. Okay,
Okay, that's fine. Okay, welcome to Islamically Correct. Before we even begin, we have like a rapid fire just to make us feel comfortable. The first one is, what is your favorite childhood snack growing up?
snack.
Yeah.
I used to steal big G's from mother's shop, so ended up getting to DK's. So it can be Nika Mayo.
Okay.
Maybe that and halwa has been up to now though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
If you want a gift me, bring halwa.
Okay, we'll try and get you a good word from Mombasa. Inshallah. If you are not in medicine, what career will you have choose?
I'll be doing this.
Podcast, content.
Not really content, because before I went into medicine, I wanted to go into journalism, media studies, and then the need for medicine came. So I was like, let me just do it.
What was the name?
Need in terms of family, seeing my grandfather go through a bit of conditions. I was like, let me just go do it.
What is one thing you always carry in your pocket or a bag?
Does the phone count?
We all carry that one.
Maybe keys. I'd take keys to my office and sometimes a hairband. Maybe. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Do you like coffee, tea, or not?
I'm a tea person. Kahawa pana.
Oh, okay. What?
Gas. I mean, I'm the typical Somalis.
Okay. One word your friend will use to describe you.
And I don't have a lot of friends, but they don't describe me with a word. They describe me with mannerisms, because I usually do this a lot. So, ukiniona, hey, niaje. So that's what I get. I don't get words mostly.
Oh, like you like to touch your beard.
A lot.
That's nice. Okay. Then we get into it. So tell me about your childhood. What was your earliest memory of money? Just describe like your childhood in general.
Okay. Born in Thika, raised in partly Thika and Mombasa. And in Thika, obviously the cycle that everyone goes through: primary, Duxi, and then we moved to Mombasa. Once we moved to Mombasa, the school we went to was near the airport. It's called Mwingo. I don't know if it's still there. I hope it is. And one of the biggest things that was a cultural shift was in Thika. Weirdly, what I remember is we used to get to class by around 8. In this new school, we used to go there by around 5:30 a.m. It felt like, and the headmaster was like a former military guy. So mkiingia shule, you clock in as early as 5:30. 5:30 already in class, as a class from class 4. So you can imagine from class 4, you're 10, I'm 8 years old, I'm 9, you've already started like a high pressure nini. So the that was basically the initial impression we had in primary school. And then once you get to school, you just don't sit and start nini, mnapiga lap kwanza, jog kidogo, and then mnakaa kwa class. You start with preps, and then official classes usually start at 8. When you get to class 6, you'd leave school around 10 p.m. So you clock in at 5 a.m., you leave at 10 p.m. So you've spent the whole evening, day, and night in that environment. You have a bunch of homework. You're going home to do those 2 homeworks, probably till midnight, 12. So you sleep from 12 to 5, and the cycle continues. So that is what I remember from primary school. Interaction with money is when my mom opened up a restaurant. She opened up, I think, 3 restaurants in Mombasa, and I used to work as a waiter. Used to work as a waiter. I'd probably get maybe 200 shillings a week. So the 200 shillings, I don't know if Kenyan kwa nafanyia, but I was either washing dishes or serving people or like that. So we started from humble beginnings, I guess. Yeah.
What did you learn, the fact that your mom was an entrepreneur and doing all that and you being part of it? Like, were there any lessons you learned about money, that we have to work hard for it, or anything that you remember?
One thing I learned from her is nothing is handed over to you without a caveat behind it. And not, yes, the different people are from different backgrounds. So some will have a silver spoon, some won't. Ours wasn't a silver spoon, but I think our parents did the best they could, and I give them grace for it because it's given you character as an individual in terms of how to handle different people. And yes, money is a very important thing. I never refute it, but humanity comes before the money. That's one thing I got from them. 2 is from a business or an entrepreneurial mindset is you do your best. You stand alone. People will join you if they see the impact of what you're doing. And eventually every step is a small growth. So appreciate the small things. You might start from, let's say, selling one biscuit, because I think, I don't know if I should ask Male to show up on your podcast, but her stories are way more humbling than ours, because as we feel like we were given a better chance than they were. And from there's a lot that I got to see from her. Like, she would build from, Mother used to sell ice creams kwa primary schools za watoto. Like, so you know this straw whatever ones. She started that, moved to a small kibanda, moved to a small retail shop, moved to a wholesale, opened a chain of those wholesales. That was in Thika. In Mombasa, we started with restaurants, opened with one, and built it, made it aesthetically pleasing, because it started off as a small thing, grew, moved it to a new location in town where the traffic was much higher, improved on it, scaled it. And then obviously with there'll be ups and downs, and also health usually comes in here. So at some point, I think it reached a time where she was overwhelmed with the work, and so she had to sell off the property, and we moved to Nairobi. And by then, I think I was in med school. Hoya was just relaxing, and then that's it up to now.
Okay, that's really nice, and I'm glad you're sharing that story. How was money handled or talked about in your home? Yeah, growing up. like in general? Were we like the hush hush family, like we don't know who's paying who, whatever is happening, or we talk about money and educate each other? Just so rare.
There wasn't a class per se where you'd be sat down. Unaona hii ni shilingi 10, tumia 3 bob nilete 7 bob. There wasn't a proper class. It was more of try to be responsible with money, and if you made mistakes, you'd get beat for it, like significant beating. I remember kuna time nilikula school fees. I saw my life ending. Like it was the worst decision I ever made. But from there, I kind of got to understand why my intention to spend that school fees was there, and it was because I had friends who I wanted to please, and that was a very wrong thing. So I got to learn that yes, you can have money, but and if you spend it the wrong way, it doesn't come. And you can still have money and not give. I was about to cast. You don't give fucks about what people think of you. So whether you're in sleepers and you have 1 billion shillings in your bank account, it doesn't matter what people think of you with your sleepers. You just know what you can do with your money. So those lessons after the beating, so I was like, okay, next time if you do lipa school fees, get your skills, you'll get your money back later. So I was like, okay.
How much did you steal or take?
I'd say it was around 30,000. I think I spent around 15K of it. Nikalipa shule. Nikalipa 15K shule. So time ya fees, mzee is like, wewe nilikupatia do iko wapi? I'm like, iliibiwa. I got beat for it, but eventually things went back to normal. So I got my lesson.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. I want you to tell me the story of how you like went through high school and even deciding to go to med school.
Okay. High school, I went to one in Mombasa, Sheikh Khalifa. Finished in 2013. Yeah, 2013. From Form 1 up to Form 3, I was a joker. I just like to play football a lot. And maybe just hang out with, used to get like friends, groups and stuff. Reality hit me in Form 3. I was like, fuck, if I don't do well, my chances of having a fair life would be different, because I think the mindset back then is different from the mindset right now. Right now, it's what can you do as an individual, whether you're an A student, whether you're a D student, it doesn't really matter. It's the few key values that you have or the talents that you have. If you expand on them, you can actually make something of yourself. Back then, it was all of you have to pass, all of you have to get into better courses or universities and study something decent. And I had to, for the last year, I had to go back to what I was doing in my primary school, because I think that was what saved me in the 4th year. Because in primary school, you're already told by 3 you should be up, 4 should be up, should be in class by around 4:30. From 4:30 to prayer time, 5:30 you have done something. From 5:30 to breakfast, you have done something, up to around 10 in the evening. So I tried to capitalize on that. It gave me a good grade. I went to, before the chance to go to med school, we had a sit down with Mzee. I was like, what do you want to do with your life? I'm like, me, I want to go into media studies and journalism. And this was actually even before the final exam. What do you want to do? I was like, me, I want to go this way. I feel like I can do something different. I was like, fikiria. Use your brain. Hii si course yako. I was like, what would you suggest? Now inquired, I want you to go do medicine. I was like, why did I? So I'm referring that to my elder brother because my elder brother was like 2-3 years ahead of me. Why didn't you tell him to do it? Why are you telling me now? He was like, I told him to do it, he refused. So I think this is a better chance for you to go. I was like, and in that time, one of the key things that hit me was the flashbacks or memory of seeing my grandfather struggle with an ulcer in his stomach and he was pooping blood. So I was like, okay. And I might not, it might not feel like a necessity right now in that Form 4 stage, but I might look back at the decision I took that time and say it was worth it. And yes, it was because apart from being able to become a doctor initially, because in itself is a whole other point, I think from having being licensed to where I am now, I don't know how many people I've interacted with, but they're probably in thousands, tens of thousands. And yes, I will fail in some cases and I will excel in some cases, and you would save lives in some cases, and in some cases you can't really do much. So, and yes, I went for it. Before I went for it, I spoke to my class teacher, who is, I think, the current principal in the same school. And he was like, you want to do this, yeah? And what does your father want you to do? Is medicine. I was like, he gave me a really smart idea. I was like, go finish. Later on down the line, if push comes to shove and you're not seeing you're happy in this side, journalism will always come. You'll just always come back. And then podcast came, so it was like two birds, one stone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So were you like sponsored to go to high school, to university, sorry, or did your parents took you through that?
No, it was all my parents' effort. It was all my parents' effort. Yeah.
Were you like one of those people when they go to university, they start the side businesses just to be able to make side monies, or you were just waiting money from your parents?
And I've always never liked the concept of exchanging money. Even up to now, it's a thing I struggle with individually. That's why we work with as a team with Elias. So if I was to say, it feels very uncouth, very abnormal to ask for money because I've made your headache go away. You understand? And if I saw you dying, would I just leave you there because you have no money? You get. So the concept of humanity is what I look at, and I'm like, this is what the whole course was meant for. But if the country and the people who are the netizens or the citizens of the country and the politicians do not see the impact of having a free healthcare system, it will make private businesses thrive. And I always say this: if you want the healthcare of the country to be at its peak level, teach the president in Bagadi.
Yeah.
Enda matibabu, wachana na hii Nairobi hospital, Aga Khan, nini bullshit. No, go to that same place where mzee wa mtaa or the nduthi guy is going to and get the same level of treatment, and see the disparities in what the private industry is offering versus what the public is offering. That's when you can appreciate and say, okay, if we really want to compete with the private, we have to bring this public to this level. And that concept of money now changes. Doctors stop becoming people who are looking to sell their skills, they're looking now to serve humanity. That mind shift will switch. Yeah.
So how are you surviving university?
I used to get upkeep from home. Plus, I used to do zinaitwa nini, write-ups for people. So naambia letter nakufanyia, unaandika. It's like a form of homework per se. Used to do researches for people. What else? Those are the basic needs at the time. Yeah.
Okay. If you can remember, what were you doing with your money? Were you saving it? And when was the concept of saving introduced to you?
I've never been good at saving, but these I don't know if it will ever change, honestly, but one thing I know is if you have the skill that you have, and tomorrow is never assured. If I want to use that money today, I will. If someone needs it more than me, I will give. So there's no point in holding and saying, this is my mindset. This is not anyone else. I don't know if you want to copy or paste shida ni yako. But all I'm saying is, if you look at money as as a something that will protect you or stuff like that, it's not really something that will protect you. Yes, in some sense, in the future you save, it will offer you something, but in that short term, what you do with it in terms of you being a human really matters. Let's say I have let's say I am sick, you have money. Nikuje nikwambie, I need this and this and this, I need to go to the hospital. You wanted to save that money, right? Me, I desperately need it because I know I need to get this treatment. You weigh.
100%.
You weigh, right? So, what are the chances you'll return my money? Let's zero. Hapo utanikazia. Okay, but what are the chances that if I give him his money and he goes gets treatment, there'll be a sense of me, you having helped me. There'll be a sense of me always feeling a bit of loyalty towards you because you took me from point A to point B in the lowest points in time. So I look at money like that. There's no point. Yes, you can save a certain percentage, you can save, but sometimes if there's a budget you've kept for emergencies, then you use that budget for emergencies. So partly save, part emergency, part your lifestyle. Yeah.
I have a question because I'm totally different from you. I'm those people save as much as you can because you don't know tomorrow, and I like to have like control of things. But I promise I'm a generous person, spike keyboards. So how do you differentiate between giving, and keeping some for yourself? Like, because I feel like you're going to be those people that give even though it's against like
You don't want.
kapsa,
Yeah.
and you still look for more to give.
All I know is it will still circle back. That's the only thing that keeps me going. If kama ingekuwa kuna cut point, hakuna pesa inarudi, I'll be like, yo, fuck off. But the fact that there's something that you can do and people will always look back to you. There's at some point the break will always come and you'll get back what you give. So it's like sadaka. Nimekupea do, yes, umeshindwa kulipa, ni sawa, it's okay. I'll get it somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wish to be like you when I grow up, but that's a good way of thinking that what you put out there comes back to you at the end of the day, and it teaches you also to have tawakkul in Allah, that you trust God to provide for you and to give you in times that you need it the most.
Yeah.
So hopefully I am still learning that innocent
Aspect, yeah.
yeah, that aspect of life. So describe to me what happens after university. Where do we go from there?
After uni, I went to
How many years were you in school?
6
Okay.
6 years. Finished uni during Corona time, and I was studying in Uganda, so the borders were locked. So I'm trying to find my way back into the country so that I can join the workforce and be among the people who will be in the Corona space. And then I don't know if I'll be arrested by immigration now, but niliingia kwa trailer, tulipakiwa tulipanda with a beshte yangu, some other guy is called Hood. So it's actually one of his family members. I think they own the company. So we were in Ginger at the time. The borders are just starting to open up for goods, not people, goods. So the guy he was driving the truck, akakuja akatupik. So we start like, it was a very nice road trip from Jinja up to the Kenyan border. Very nice road trip. Tumefika border. Obviously we sneak in. Kuna maneno ya temperature checks na nini, passports. Kuna kitu kai. We just passed through, got through it, and then now the ride starts getting serious from, I think, Busia all the way to Nairobi. I feel like this is a behind the scenes, human trafficking, how it looks like. So we were two, me and my friend, and the driver, so we were three. Now, to get a description of the trailer, most trailers usually have the front cabin, which is for the driver and the co-driver, and then a behind where kuna like a resting space meant for the driver and co-driver wakiswitch, sio? So sisi tumewekwa huko kwa bench ya nyuma. A bench ya nyuma, ideally, tuseme squeeze would house like maybe 4 or 5 people. We were packed there like, I think, 18 people. Finyo hivi. You're like this from Busia to Nairobi. So alafu after every 2 hours there's a check, a roadblock. Ebu fungua. So tukikaribia the roadblocks, kulikuwa na curtain mbele yetu. So unaona light ya polisi imefunga. So they just close the nini, alafu ebu nyamaza. Driver anakuja anapointiwa taa, umebeba nini? Narudisha lori, nimeenda kudrop mzigo naendea ingine. Anasema sawa wewe pita. So we were sneaking all through like that. Sasa there was a guy, I think he was from Kisii, named Kisii. So we passed the border around, I think, 3 a.m. So your time, everyone is beat. You're just trying to sneak in your nap in that position that you're in. Msee ameanza kuweka early morning gospel songs. You're 15 people behind. Ondoka mshautia. Yes. Zima, we are not. Look at the environment you are in. If you want to go, go. Go and listen to your gospel songs alone. So that was like the most interesting part. Fast forward to internship. I went to a place called Embu level 5. Immediately was placed in internal medicine, where we actually deal with corona patients. At the time, I think the hospital hadn't really gotten a case until 2 weeks or 1 week into when we were arriving, our new group. So tukapata, we started work like regular doctors, how they start training. And then 2 weeks into it, got the first case. The case spread rapidly across the entire hospital. So protocols and prevention tactics had to be implemented rigorously. And it became a significant concern when a young man around 30 years old was just brought into the accident and emergency side, and he collapsed and died on the spot. So I wasn't the doctor handling the case. The only thing is I could hear a lot of fracas, and I was just from finishing my shift. So I'm passing through and seeing a lot of people, and you just go there and find out you're told the patient is already arrested. So things got serious from there. Watchmen had to screen people. The shopkeepers around the hospitals were told, you guys have to do this and this and this. Doctors, nurses, everyone had to be extra cautious. We ended up having one of our doctors who used to work in the outpatient department and the accident and emergency department becoming extremely sick during that time. So everything had to everyone had to be like extra cautious. So in that mess, mi nikapatwa nayo, The good thing is it was just mild, and I loved the consultant who was there, the specialist who was there. I was like, nani amepata COVID? Mimi. Close the ward, and the government at the time walikuwa nasumbuana na pay with the consultants. We shall close the ward indefinitely until the government pays and this COVID problem is sorted. Because you look at the space that we were in, there was a time where a hospital is supposed to provide you with protective equipment. So you're not getting any protective equipment. They still want you to serve the same patients and they want you to come back healthy the next day. So it wasn't mathing. So the guy was like, close the ward. When your government is serious, call us, we will come. So we went on leave for around 1 month as we wait for the government to sort itself out and stuff. So time wasted again. But all in all, it was a humbling experience, I would say, in the sense that you go through the internal medicine side, you go into the surgical side, you go into maternity. I hated maternity, God knows. And then the pediatric side and also psychiatry side. So after 1 year, got done, stayed, trying to analyze what I actually started uh, a mini kind of podcast in the first 3 to 4 weeks when I was doing my internship during that 1 month leave. But because of workload, fatigue, I couldn't continue. So I just took a pause and focused on getting my license. After getting the license, finished, came to Nairobi because at the time we were staying in Nairobi. Came back to Nairobi, waited for to see if I'll get an employment. Nilizunguka. Eish. Nilizunguka. I was dropping CVs everywhere. To a point where I got lucky. One hospital through people who are connected to our family was like, if he's jobless, we'll give him a chance. So I went there, started working for around 3 years. And then after 3 years, I was like, I think I'm confident enough to team up with family and do a whole business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Before we get to the business part, how are you managing, like financial wise, when you are like doing as an intern, and just that whole year of not being sure of how life is, especially with Corona, you didn't know what was going to happen. So, like, how was your money situation?
Mi nilikuwa najibamba. I'll not lie to you. But the one thing I'd say is I did make some, I think, investments, and not in institutions but in people. One was myself. Two was family. I think also, and also gadgets. I think I managed to buy the things that I would always needed, proper PCs and stuff like that. I wanted to do a little bit more of editing and stuff. So I tried to look for a machine that's portable, friendly, and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's government money, and to some extent to me it feels haram because ilikuwa inapita through your hands and you're not keeping much of it. Yeah, and after finishing that, after starting working, now that's when the concept of now breaking down what I would spend and what I would save came up. Now that I'm working for a private institution, because a private institution is an area where it's a performance index. So how do you perform? How you would perform is what would make your pay. Much as it was still a fixed salary, your persistence on your contract and you not being relieved from your contract would be dependent on your performance index. So I had to up my game in terms of being a good doctor and making sure I'd still get my money, and the money I would either spend it on myself or save some of it. And saving some of it is one of the main things that actually contributed to us starting the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, if you don't mind sharing, how much was the government paying you at the time?
The government was paying us around 150K a month. With 150K, yes, it looks like a lot, but 2 weeks into the month, anaona like okay, boss niko zero, naweza nipatia mkate nitakulipa kesho, stuff like that. So, and I don't. That's why I call it. I don't know. It just felt it's not. Yes, you've worked for it, you've earned it, but you don't know imepitia mikono gani. Yes. So at least now, while working for the private institution, the money kind of stayed, and it was lesser. Weirdly, unaona, okay. The whole month I've spent maybe 30K, 40K on myself. Whatever is remaining, bepeana iwekwe mahali.
So when you first realized that you were getting paid the amount, how were you feeling? And were you like, oh, I'm gonna do this, or were you like, okay,
The first,
money's here now, let's ball?
the first thing I bought was a decent smartphone. Nilikuwanga na mulika mwizi kitambo. Okay, yes, I'd still had a mulika mwizi and a technophone. I never liked a technophone because I was trying to see what I could do with a decent camera phone. And I started experimenting with photography in internship. The photography became videography. The videography became a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel then collapsed because I was in internship. I really had to focus on work. Fast forward, I think, yes, there was a lot of errors, but I'd say errors in disguise because they were learning curve. The learning curve is what pushed the current state that I'm in right now, which is trying to manage a business, build a community online as well. So all those mistakes that were being seen at that time, if I hadn't made any of them, I don't think I'd be here now. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So now let's get into you becoming an entrepreneur and getting into that side. How did the idea come about, and how did you get started? Yeah.
Okay, the idea initially came from when we were in med school. So we were in Ginger at the time. I think I was in my final year. My brother was in his second last year, I think. And then we had a sit down, and we were like, what can we do to stand out, to look different, to still be the same doctors but with a bit of a difference, and not just follow the same rat race where you finish, you wait for the government posts you on internship, you get done again, you wait for the government. If the government doesn't come, what happens? You go into private. After private, what happens? You either get stuck there in the private industry and just work for the private facilities, of which majority of private facilities do not motivate the growth of their staff. So you are like, okay, we have to break these channels that have been created by the previous groups. One of the ways which we looked at it was 3 ways. One was social media. 2 was a physical startup. 3 was software development. So the software development, none of us had the skills. One of the mistakes I made during my work few initial years is I tried to invest in an app. And Nairobi being Nairobi, I was told, welcome. Lost my money through that. So I'm still bitter about it. But I learned, I was like, okay, it wasn't me alone. I lost close to 600,000. Close to 600,000. I was like, imeenda, mbaya, whatever happens, happened. So I stopped, waited for a few more years, continued working, and then the idea for the podcast came. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Started buying the equipment, pole pole. Got a space, pole pole, like that. Grew it slowly, slowly, slowly to where we are now. Now, with the podcasts, the idea of having a physical location made more sense because the same community that you've been trying to build with the podcast are the same people who a percentage of them would need urgent medical care and stuff like that, and we were like, okay, we can do that. I'm licensed, my brother is licensed, we have this as an online platform to educate. So yes, you've seen us online, now you can see us in person, and um, if it's something that we can help you with, we will. So there was a link from online space, people seeing you, to physical space, now people knowing where you are. Yeah.
Okay. Owning a hospital or even running it, it takes a lot of like financial abilities. So how did you, like, you and your, you said family, prepare yourself for that?
It was, you mentioned something and you share the same attribute with my mom, which is saving. So she's kama kuna mtu ana save.
Yeah.
Aye.
Really.
Yeah, so she saves a lot, and she was like, okay, you guys are going to do this now. Yes. Okay, so I'm in. Just like that. And we started. We started with a small space, and every day it's just a step of growth. You take it like that. And one of the lessons she instills in us is, um, there's no need to rush. Um, there's no need to rush. Enjoy your growth. Enjoy your growth. Yes, there'll be pressure, societal pressure. Oh, why you not driving this? Nini, nini, nini. But all in all, is there's some skills and some knowledge that you get from trying to understand how much a small step in growth is an essential step. Lagging or getting stuck is the only issue, but yes, you will again also have ups and downs. So that's still part of business. So we all got to learn from her through that. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
Sounds,
Very wise.
yeah, she is. She is literally an amazing human being, and that's good. If you don't mind sharing, I guess, the figures, like how much did it take to start the business itself?
Uh, okay. We started with around 20K USD.
Okay.
Started around 20K USD. Pole pole too. And the 20K wasn't, if I if if I was given the same 20K again and told, uh instead of giving you 20K if I was told to start over again, rather, and I was told this time I'll give you 100,000 USD, I don't think I would have taken it.
Why?
And I think there's a lot we would have missed in terms of learning the structure of what a business needs. And with the 20K, you have this tight budget that you want to work with. And with that 20K, you need to know the personnel that you're going to employ. And Alhamdulillah, we have the best of stuff. And with the personnel that you employ, you need to know if they align with your goals, if they align with the understanding that this is not an exchequer from the government that just drops. 2050 imefika, serikali imelipa. No, this is the coin that you have to earn. And if every employee understands that, then a business will always thrive, however much slow it can be. It will always thrive. So, and if I was given the chance to restart, I think I would have just gone same journey, nothing much to have changed. Only thing is, I think if I was given the 100, yes, maybe could have given us a better start, but there's some key nitty gritties you'd probably have missed.
Okay. Okay. So there was a podcast I was listening to, I think yesterday or the day before, and he's a doctor the same way as you guys, and he was starting his own facility and hospital. And what he said is that in school you guys are not taught the business of becoming an entrepreneur, like running a hospital, but you are taught the business of taking care of humans and serving them and whatnot. So in that aspect, he chose to be the manager rather than be the doctor. What did you choose in this aspect? Did you choose to run the business or did you choose to serve the humans?
I've always chosen humanity over money. But again, we work in teams, so Elias does take like the huge bulk of managing money. However, my job as the doctor is to make sure that the humanity aspect of it is still there, and the humanity aspect and how responsible you are will always again build your name and make people come to you. Same concept as many hospitals. And I'll give you a reason why business is not taught in medicine.
Okay.
Because this is a noble profession. It is not supposed to be an exchange of cash for me helping you. It is not.
Okay, I want to say something.
Go.
But then, if it is a noble work, I want to understand that you're a human being.
Why am I doing it?
No, not why you're doing it. You have a need, you have family to take care of, you have you to take care of yourself. What happens in that aspect? It feels like as doctors, you're only focusing on me who's sick and the human part of it. But also you forget that you also are
I'm human.
and you also need to fill your cup before you can even pour it to others.
This is where institutions come into play. So, and communities come into play. So, and I don't know about history or back in the day, but I usually like taking examples from developed countries. And in developed countries, they have systems where you are employed as the doctor. All you have to just do is make sure that you're showing up on time for work, doing your job to the best of your abilities, making sure you don't mess up, and the institutions or the community takes care of you. So my needs are sorted out by the community, not by myself. You understand? Because the function of medicine is not, I'll give you a good example. If there's an outbreak of cholera now, I will treat one person, and it's my job to inform the whole village and tell them, boss, make sure your hands are clean. If you drink this water, please try and boil it if you don't have any other solution. So it's still my job to make sure that this alarm is passed around. So if I'm relaying that information, who is supposed to be feeding my children and my wife and kids? Is it the same people? Yes. So it's not supposed to be malaria, lipa thautano. And then the community members, they come, everyone is paying for it. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be the community financing the institutions of healthcare. Once the institutions of healthcare, everyone else is being managed to their finances well, then their medical needs are addressed by that institution. Yeah.
Okay, I get your point. Do you think that being a doctor or even a nurse or even being in the healthcare in general, is it has to be like a calling or there are other people just for the money to make money out of it? Or is it that okay for me to do a night shift because I'm thinking doing night shift takes a lot of work and whatnot, and it just you have to be selfless to be able to be in that industry. I hope I'm right. So do you think it's a calling or it's just do it?
Oh, it is. It is. I think most people end up getting tired halfway through med school. I'll give you an example. In our class, we started with, I think, 120 students. 120 students. By the time we were finishing, fifth year, sixth year, I think we finished 80 students. And out of the 80, there are like other classes, unaona repeat, so they'd still come to your class. So all that fall back. So one is, yes, it's a demanding course. Two is you need to be up to date in terms of knowledge wise. Three is competition is high for slots. Four is, as an individual, if you know you're not going to be willing to wake up at 4 a.m., don't. Much as there is phases in play here. Phases in the sense that you're an undergraduate, you've just become a doctor now, you're not specialized. Yes, this work will be required of you. But if you finally specialize and focus on something, then it's now upon you to maneuver how you're going to do things. Because, case in point, you don't hear psychiatrists being called to the hospital at 3 a.m. unless it's a suicide attempt. Or you don't hear dermatologists being called to the hospital at 2 a.m. because unless it's a significant injury or burn, or burns actually plastic surgeons, or what is it called, a life-threatening skin emergency. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. No, thank you for answering that one. I always had the like, not everyone is meant to be a doctor. Yeah, just some of us need to just do other things, but that's okay. So I want you to take me through some of the challenges and some of the wins of starting this business, and yeah, the whole process. Like, what are the wins and the challenges getting started? Okay, lit.
Wins. Okay, tuanze na gani? The challenges. Challenges. It is extremely demanding. It's extremely demanding. No days off. Even if you want to take a day off, you'll still find yourself here. Um, Two is you're on call throughout. I don't know if you understand what that means. No, on call is basically when a doctor is always on standby. So any point in time, if the phone rings and you're needed, you have to be there. So that's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard. So I'd say those are the biggest challenges. The third one is I'd look at wins. Wins is moving from asset-wise growth. That's one. Two is if you look at the community and how aware we've managed to become, especially with the facility and both the podcast. Three is I'd say the team that we've now formed. It's a huge win because everyone's bought into the vision of what we're trying to do, and hopefully as the more it grows older, the more it picks trail. Four is giving back, and giving back in the sense that of both financially and information wise. And I'm very key on information because there's a podcast we've been, an episode or a campaign we've been doing for a very long time now. It's called Safe Glow. You've seen it. Don't bleach. Don't bleach. Don't chase the glamour. Uh, kuna so many natural uh there are so many natural alternatives to what you could use. There are so many ingredients that are tried, tested, and approved that you can use. Do not buy things that you have no idea what they contain. And I'll give you an evidence for it. I know a few young females, both under the age of 30, 35, who have kidney issues, liver issues, heart issues, and partly I would say some of them I would attribute to the ingredients that have been used on the skin. Yes, there's no significant research that tells you numbers. Oh, if you keep applying this and this and this, but it's still a risk factor. So why take the risk if you know it's going to harm you? Yeah.
Okay. Give us like some financial wins and losses.
Financial wins. One is I'd say not being able to rely on salary. That's one. Losses is I wouldn't call it a loss. I wouldn't call it a loss. I would call it as having the mindset of reinvesting all the time. So yes, you've made profit this month. Do you eat that profit? No. Take that profit back, put it back in. Make sure it's you've added something new. You added something new. You're always evolving. I wouldn't call it losses. I'd call it understanding that yes, you've made a step, you've grown, but taking that growth back and forcing it back into the business so that it grows further. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you think the business has grown to a point where it can feed you without sacrificing? That's if the rest.
I wouldn't say it's reached there.
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say we are very far from it. No, I'd say we're a bit close. We're a bit close, but again, because of targets and goals that we have, it might take a little bit longer than expected. But yes, there's impact. There's impact. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, of course, running a hospital is not the easiest, I want to believe. What is the worst money mistake you have made in your career or in the business in general?
Buying some machines that I have no function for them per se. So maybe that's the only one I'd say.
If you can give us like figures, how much they cost, how much you lost.
Around 250,000. But I'm still pushing to make it work. Yeah, I'm not giving up.
You're trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is the happiest memory you have involving money that still makes you smile up until today?
Money. Majority of my memories are not anything to do with money, because money comes and goes. Majority of my memories are with moments with patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So I want to know, which direction did you take? You didn't, like in med, please ignore my ignorance. I don't know anything, but I want to believe that there's a space you specialize into it. And also, and at the beginning of the podcast, there's a part you said you don't like maternity, or you hated maternity. So you can tell us why. We love that.
Do you want me to be graphic? Am I Chini?
No, be graphic.
I be graphic. You sure you're ready for this?
Yes.
Hey, okay.
Handle, yeah.
Um, my hate for maternity started in third year. In first year, second year, okay, first year, second year, you taught about human body and how it works and how it looks and what processes make it work. In third year, you're taught the disease processes. So in the disease processes, you finish the third year, and then the fourth year, you're now told, okay, now let's go see real life patients. That's why it's a very long thing. Let's go see real life patients. So, and I was in a town called Mubende. Okay, it's near Kampala. People who know Uganda, Mubende. So I was there. Peleko hosi flani. You're told now Muhyiddin will be in obs and gyn. So obs and gyn are two separate fields. Obs is for mothers who are about to deliver, and gyn is for female gynecological cases. So Muhyiddin tunaanza na wewe obstetrics. I'm like, okay. So, and the good thing is we were in groups, like groups of 3, 4. Among those groups of 3 or 4, we had like guys who had done clinical medicine. So they were now trying to get their degree of bachelors of medicine and surgery. So them, they already know what this is. They just came to kidogo fine tune their skills and get their degrees. So obstetrics mini iko green, tumepatiwa vitabu, you go through them, or PowerPoints, you go through them, and then you now see your first cases. Obviously, pregnancy is not new. You've seen women being pregnant before, but shit hits the fan when you see the baby come out.
Yeah.
So tumeingia kwa maternity. So Ugandans have a different kind of accent. So nasikia Sindika. Sindika is like school.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hearing that noise from outside. So I'm like, let me go see. I'm very curious. Now the image is it's too much. But what I remember after is I got dizzy kidogo. And then nikajipata nimerelaxishwa kwa couch.
So it's true, men do faint in the and women.
Okay, I don't know about other men, but to me, I know immediately faint. It was very graphic because you'd see like a whole gush of amniotic fluid, blood, and then their head is here. I was like, not for me. And but I was consistently trying because I need this to be done so that I can move to the next thing. So I'm like, jikaze bro, hii kitu kidogo ninakusumbua. So I was still pushing myself to go in the same room. The same way how you manage anxiety disorders. Like let's say you have fear of spiders. For you to overcome the fear of spiders, you have to be consistently exposed to that spider with you understanding that it's not going to do anything to you. So I had to put myself in that room. Ambia, sindika pia una shout, sindika. You get. So eventually I got used to it, started doing deliveries, and then ikaisha. I was like, thank God, thinking that it's not going to come again. 50 year, the same thing happened, but this time I felt like, mbakaida. And then internship came. I was so happy that it wasn't like um, a significant necessity for doctors to be doing normal deliveries. I was really happy with that because it's usually categorized to midwives to do normal deliveries. Unless it's a complicated delivery, that's when doctors would come in. And lucky for me, we never had complicated deliveries. And if there were, theater direct, and it's a government hospital, yeah. So we were doing a number of C-sections. I think by the time I was done, I'd done like around 60, 70. Yeah. 60, 70, it was like, fungua, take the baby out, tap the baby on the back, he's crying, continue, close the mother up, go to your bed and recover. So, okay, yes, I'm putting it in very simple words. It's a very complex procedure, but, and I think I enjoyed this aspect of surgery more than the other one where that wasn't for me. Yeah.
Did that change your view of women and how the process of bringing life, a human being to the world?
Um,
I hope
it
the answer will be yeah.
no, I don't think it's changed anything because my initial mindset was women are delicate creatures because you understand that something that is supposed to be a normal process can be a life-threatening process. So the whole concept of from being raised as a child, you're taught like you never hit a woman, stuff like that. So again, it comes down to how you're raised and what you see your parents do and what you see your families do. I've never seen any male figure in my family hit a woman. So it comes, the whole concept of you as a man understanding who a woman is comes from what you see at home. Society and what you end up doing later on is dependent on whether you're okay in the head or not. I don't think majority of men who hit women are okay in the head because there's some kanat that's probably missing. Yeah.
Okay. As we try and finish the episode, I wanted to ask, are you currently investing? Like, if so, where? Like, are you doing real estate, stocks, or within the business?
I'm still investing in skills because skills in the medical field specifically, because one thing within the medical space is learning never stops. You can be 80 years old today. There'll be a new study that shows that there's this and this and this. So you look at that, you put it into the back of your mind, and you try and go through it more and more and more, and you get a key detail from there that can save a life. So uh, my investment right now will never be on material things. Maybe the key places I would look at is what can I do extra in terms of study or learn or understand better for it to save a life or something like that. Or even now that I'm in the aesthetics field, to make someone look bing gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I'm one of those people that believe in the compound factor and what on. Have you decided, like, have you ever looked in this investments plans for Muslims, how to go about them, and just believe that now you're maybe, let's say, 25 or something. and when you're 50 or 65, you're able to make your money and have a passive income as time goes?
No. Why? Um, Again, I'm prioritizing something that it's all about priorities, yeah? Right now, you're a medical doctor, okay? You see the clear niches in your business that you want to take off. Would I be looking at investing in real estate or taking off these niches? Which one would you be going for? Exactly. So you have to tick off the niche, make sure the niche is done. After the niche is done, and now you're recouping the investment from doing those ticks in the niche, then I can look back and say, okay, now I'm done with the clinic demands and the hospital requirements and the small gaps that I was seeing, and you can now say, okay, now let's look at something else to invest in.
Um, do you think you have the financial literacy for that, or you don't have, or you have never even tried to look into how you can invest halal? Why I'm saying this is that you can be doing the business side of things and whatnot, but you can be putting maybe 1,000 or 2,000 every month or so, just so that money can work for you one day.
Um, in what context are we talking about specifically?
So for me, like, I like to invest in this kind of stocks and whatnot. So I do them as a side thing. Like, as I'm getting older, I want to believe that this one will grow. And how they say that, what do they say? Yeah, they say that like most of the rich people, their money they get it in their 50s is because the money they were able to invest when they were younger, like in their 20s. So that's like the context I'm talking about.
So, if it comes to ideas on how to invest, I think,
You have the knowledge.
yeah, I think I have the needed amount of knowledge to survive. Only difference is the way you choose to do investing in stocks is direct conversion to money, right? Now, the way I look at investing, I look at it from skills wise and knowledge and stuff. And after that, we look at the skills that I've got, how much of it can I directly translate it into cash? You get. So I'll give you a good example. If today I knew how to do, let's say, a BBL, nadhani ningecharge ngapi?
With a lot of money.
Exactly. And right now I can only maybe do a few other procedures which are charged considerably less. But if I can do BBLs at uh, make you look like Kim or Nikki, I'd charge way heavier and I'd recoup immediately. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to finish, but then this critic came out. I know why you decided to get into that, to like change such like cosmetic surgeries, and is it halal to do that?
Okay. I'm going to say this with a caveat. Yes, I dream and I aspire of going into that field fully, but not to execute BBLs and all of that, but to execute an image that is a bit similar to 10 to 15 years younger of who you are, who you are. If you never had a nyash, I'm not going to give you a nyash.
Okay.
If you've now ended up developing a tummy from having multiple babies, then what we can do is refashion that tummy and make it back as if you are 30 or 20 years old. You understand? If you ended up dropping your face because of a lot of weight and then you lost the weight and now your skin is saggy, there's something that we can do to reduce the skin and take you back to where you are. Not okay, if someone has like massive breasts, yes, it does bring in a bit of pain and discomfort on the spine. Now that would make sense because you're relieving discomfort. So cosmetic surgery is not purely a field where it's about looks and nini. No, yes, it is about looks, but from what point to what point did this looks switch, and is it us amplifying this look to make you something that you're not, or take this look back to where you were like a few years back. So that's how I look at cosmetic surgery.
So you're saying it's halal haram, Uma halal.
I got this from Sheikh Omar. I don't know who rates sheikhs. If you have an opinion, if your audience has their opinion, as a tombia. But one thing I know is, one thing he said rather or advocated is, yes, you can do hair transplants. You used to have hair. You're just taking the ones you had at the back and you're bringing them in front. There's no issue with that. You know, you used to have a tight chin. You're just taking it back. You used to have no tummy. You're just taking it back. You get. So that's the idea I'm going with.
Okay, so you're going with the side that is halal.
Yeah.
Okay. The last question.
Yeah, but I'll be tempted, no?
The last question. How are you putting barakah in your business and also making sure that your operations remain as halal as possible?
Okay. I think barakah comes in from an individual perspective and how pious you are. That's one. Two is a lot of people understanding that you're doing this for the sake of humanity. The barakas doesn't come from me. It comes from the people who are ailing, and yes, there's a monetary exchange to some degree, but understanding that maybe they parted with something that was way lesser compared to what the implication would have been if this thing was not caught early. So people appreciate that, especially with our community. That's one thing I've noticed. The number of times it's a lot. It's a lot, and honestly, I'm just thankful to Allah for all. I cannot say I've not done this, I've not done this. To the point where I am, Alhamdulillah. And we keep going, we see where we'll reach.
Yeah, that's lovely. I really enjoyed talking to you and getting to understand your life and the medicine and everything in between. Hope you enjoyed being here.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So please tell us where we can find you and where the hospital is located.
All right. My name is Dr. Muhyiddin. I on socials more the MD. On Laughing Lab Coat as well as the hosts, and one of the founders at Damal Healthcare. Damal Healthcare is located in Kilimani, junction of Wood Avenue and Lenana Road. That's where it is.
Okay, I hope you guys reach out to them. They have a very good place as what I've seen. So yeah, that's lovely. And thank you so much to everyone who have stayed up until the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you're listening to us as an audio, please don't forget to rate us or leave a comment of anything you found interesting in this podcast or in this video. And until next time, inshallah, much love, light and blessings. مع السلامة. السلام عليكم.